6 Grand Theft Auto games most fans forgot existed. Before we start, I would like you to hit that red subscribe button so you never miss out on any of our videos. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to GTA Robot. Here are 6 Grand Theft Auto games most fans forgot existed. Number 6, Grand Theft Auto London. Grand Theft Auto London took the series to the UK for the first and only time. Coming in 2 parts, 3 expansions were released for the PS1 and PCs in 1999. The first was set in 1969 and the other was set in 1961. They played exactly like the first GTA games with top-down perspectives. They were novel at the time, but once the series hit 3D, it was hard to go back to something like this. It is a strange Rockstar never went back to London, although it could change with Grand Theft Auto 6. Number 5, Grand Theft Auto 4 DLC. Grand Theft Auto 4 was first released on the PS3, the PC, and the Xbox 360 in 2008. As the series' first foray into the HD era of consoles, this entry unsurprisingly garnered a lot of praise. It even added a multiplayer mode that, while not as deep as Grand Theft Auto 5's, was an important first step. In 2009, Rockstar released 2 digital DLC packs of GTA 4, and they were made available as standalone packs on disc. The first was The Lost and Damned and starred a rival biker gang shown the original title story. The other was The Ballad of Gay Tony, which is almost self-explanatory in terms of content. The latter was the one attracted with the most interest and acclaim. The Ballad of Gay Tony has some of the highest highs in the series has ever seen. While they're hard to play on the PlayStation devices, GTA 4 and DLC can be played on Xbox consoles through backward compatibility. Number 4, Grand Theft Auto Advance. Grand Theft Auto Advance was released in 2004 for the GBA. As mentioned in the intro, it was not Nintendo's first entry in the series, but it was the company's first original one. It was the prequel to Grand Theft Auto 3, which may have enticed some players at the time. That game was beyond huge. However, GTA Advance was a return to the classic top-down viewpoint, something that many people didn't dig. Due to the GBA's button restriction, it also made it hard to play when compared to the franchise console games. GTA Advance was not reviewed well at launch, although it does have a following. Number 3, Grand Theft Auto Liberty City Stories. Just a year after the Grand Theft Auto Advance, there was another attempt at Grand Theft Auto 3 prequel. It was going to be a handheld exclusive via the PSP. Grand Theft Auto Liberty City Stories was set even further back in the timeline, but thankfully emulated the gameplay style on the console games. This was met with better praise. It hit the PSP in 2005, and due to its popularity, Liberty City Stories was then ported to PS2 in 2006. It may not live exactly up to Grand Theft Auto 3, but it's still a great successor through a prequel lens. Number 2, Grand Theft Auto Vice City Stories. Grand Theft Auto Vice City Stories was a prequel to Vice City on the PS2. It should be obvious from the title. It was made because of how successful Liberty City Stories was. Like its predecessor in 2006, Vice City Stories spent a year at an exclusive on the PSP in 2007. It would make the jump to PS2. For those that couldn't get enough of the 80s vibe of Vice City, this was a nice add-on to that. Number 1, Grand Theft Auto Chinatown Wars. The first 2 Grand Theft Auto games on Nintendo's handheld systems weren't anything to write home about. Enter the DS in 2005, which not only had an ample amount of buttons when compared to the GBA, but it had touch controls as well. Because of this unique gameplay interface, and because the DS continued to sell like gangbusters throughout its life, Rockstar was inspired to make one last exclusive Grand Theft Auto for Nintendo. The game, Grand Theft Auto Chinatown Wars. It was also set in Liberty City. It was released first on the DS in 2009, but also got a PSP port a few months later. Chinatown Wars got various mobile ports after that as well. Any version with touch controls is the way to go, as the puzzle-like drug smuggling elements are best experienced through touch interfaces. Amongst all the forgotten spin-offs, this one was worth seeking out. What was your favorite GTA game that everyone forgot about? Did we forget anything on this list? Please let us know in the comments section below. This brings us to the end of our video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit like if you did, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any of our videos in the future. Also, watch the next 2 videos that are on your screen because I'm sure you'll love them. With that, I'll see you in the next video.